Good afternoon, good afternoon, good af to the tur to the noon, y'all. Good evening, wherever you is as is, in the way I in world. Why am I being ridiculous though right now? I have no idea, because I'm crazy. Anyway, how y'all doing? Snapzilla Gorilla here. Definition, wait, hold on, killers. Had to make sure these things were turned off so that you would not hear me through these mics, the mic of this shit. Anyway, how y'all doing? Snapzilla Gorilla, Snapzilla Gorilla. Definition, Tyrant's Bane. Hollering at y'all with a live. Right now, I'm on my way back to South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a big old snowstorm for Georgia standards. For Georgia standard, it's going to be a big snowstorm, and I'm getting the hell home so that I don't have to deal with Georgia drivers in this weather. So that's what your boy is doing right now. And I got some time to holler at y'all. God damn, the time jumped up. Anyway, got some time to holler at you guys about this Wes Watson thing. Now, I've been following it a little bit. You know, John Bravo, he's been thoroughly covering the situation. And, you know, I wanted to add my 2 cents on it. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, Wes Watson is a social media influencer who did a stint in prison and got out of prison. He's this real jacked white boy. I think he was a Peckerwood. He is a Wood in prison. Y'all know, if any of y'all had any prison time or know anything about that, a Wood is a, you know, a Nazi or a, you know, all that shit. The white Aryan nation in prison. You know, they call them Woods. That's what they're called. I think he was one of those. I think he was associated with some skinhead / goddamn Aryan nation shit in prison. And so he got out, and, you know, he became basically a life coach, dating coach, alpha male influencer type, red pill type motherfucker. And he talks a lot of shit on the internet, right? Talks a lot of shit on the internet. And one time he had an issue with some guy he was on a panel with in person, like an in-person panel of men who are successful men. He was on a panel of successful men, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And him and this guy got into it, right? Wes Watson started going in on him because, you know, he said he had titties and this and that, and tried to intimidate the guy, you know, who really did not look like he worked out a lot and was in great shape. But at the end of the day, he is a man, right? He's a man. And Wes Watson was going in on him because I guess Wes Watson didn't like what he was saying. So he was going in on this guy, trying to down and degrade him, trying to make him look bad, trying to make him look weak, trying to make him look like a beta male. And, you know, of course, Wes thinks he's the alpha male of in every goddamn room. So he is going to assert, or try to assert, a certain level of dominance over what he might consider to be weaker men. And in reality, this dude, he has no idea what type of man this guy is, right? He don't know him from Adam. So anyway, he got into it with this guy, right? Started barking at him, you know, threatening him, all this type of shit. And he's right there on stage with this guy. And the dude is just calmly sitting there like, you know, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about, basically. And so after that, I guess Wes Watson started receiving a lot of backlash on the internet. A lot of backlash from a lot of people. Shaquila, how you doing? How you doing, Queen Mother? Queen Mother Shaquila. Anyway, Wes Watson got a lot of backlash, right, for that incident, and for trying to act like a tough guy on the internet. Naturally, if you act like that on the internet and you're a large influencer and you have a large following, people are going to, you know, they're going to DM you all kind of shit. They're going to threaten you. They're going to make videos about you. Other YouTubers and other Instagram motherfuckers are going to make videos shitting on you. That just comes with the territory. It's like I always say, if you are a social media influencer, if you are a public figure and you talk about subjects that are very controversial, if you talk about celebrities and other men and women, people are going to come for you. And for someone to think that they are exempt from any type of backlash on the internet is quite delusional. You know, even me myself, like, I only got what, 2,000 subscribers, so I'm not big at all. But let's say I shot up to 10, 12, 15,000 subscribers, people are going to notice me more. I'm going to get out there on the algorithm. People are not going to like what I have to say. They're going to talk shit. That just comes with the territory, right? Comes with the territory. I ain't got time to make videos about people bashing me and whining and complaining about it and saying, oh, you guys, fuck you guys. If you got a problem with me, come fight me and all this type of shit. And that's basically what this guy did, right? Wes Watson, the big wood. I'm not gonna fuck that pause game shit. You know what I'm talking about, the big peckerwood. That's what he did. He made multiple videos telling people to come where he's at and challenge him to a fight. Okay, so to basically paraphrase what he said, I'm at this gym, and he gave the name of the gym and the address of the gym. If you want to fight me, come to this gym. Hey, what's good, Sunshine? How you doing? Queen Sunshine's in the building. If you have a problem with me, come to this gym and fight me. That's what he said. This is what he's putting out in the public forum on the internet. I did the same thing when it came to the clown shoe Lucas, right? When it came to the amazing Lucas who threatened my children. I did the same shit. I told them and Minor Mouse's little minion group, I said, look, y'all got a problem with me? I'll be up here at this motherfucking Culver City Overlook getting my ruck on at this time of day. I did the same shit. I did that. I called people out, specific individuals, but if you got a problem, just come up there. We can handle our handle. And every time I was up there, guess what? I was prepared. You understand? I stayed prepared so I would not have to get prepared. I called these motherfuckers out because they were making threats to me. That's what Wes Watson did. So guess what? If someone actually showed up to the Culver City Overlook where I was rucking with 70 pounds in my pack and a total of 80 to 90 pounds total of extra weight while I'm going upstairs and up hills and down hills, vulnerable as a motherfucker, they had every opportunity to come up there and try it. So if someone had come up there and attacked me, well, I called it on myself, right? I would have to take accountability for it. If I ended up not, winning or ended up winning, no matter what the outcome might have been, hell, I could have died. I very well could have gotten murked. You know what I'm saying? So, but I guess what? I challenged people. I told them to come where I was at. I called that and brought that on myself, even though they were threatening me first. Even though they threatened me and my family, I felt justified to call them out. Yeah, I did, because you're gonna make threats. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to make good on those threats, because I fear no man. That's just about it. I fear no man. And so that's what I did. I called that on myself. That's what Wes Watson did. Wes Watson told people to come to the gym that he works out at, gave them the time, and said, when you show up, we'll go outside, we'll do a head-up fade, and wherever it settles, it settles. Head-up fade meaning one-on-one, a one-on-one squabble. One-on-one fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? That's what he called for. And so, guess what? Somebody took him up on that challenge, but before they took him up on that challenge, they DM'd each other back and forth. So the guy that showed up challenged Wes Watson in the DMs. Wes Watson said, "Hey, come get this work." Now, Wes Watson said that the work would be one-on-one work, that it would be a fair fight, that they would go outside of the gym. But when the guy actually showed up, didn't quite work out like that. Wes Watson had 3 of his buddies with him. And when the guy showed up, a big black guy that he said it was like 7 foot black guy and this and that. When the dude showed up, he approached Wes Watson, as Wes Watson told him to do. And, you know, he set up his camera. The guy that showed up for Wes Watson set up his camera to record the situation. And guess what? They got into it. They got into a verbal altercation. The guy in Wes Watson was sitting down on the bench. And he kind of like lightly pushed Wes Watson, like, get up, come on, let's get it cracking. But instead of doing what he said he was going to do, Wes Watson said, oh, get out of my face, all this, that, and the third. And then once dude pushed him, he got up and took off his weight belt, right? They got into a little bit more of a verbal altercation. Wes Watson threatened him with the belt, like kind of like that. Dude backed up, right? Wes Watson had a weighted belt in his hand. He was going to use it as a weapon. I want y'all to understand this. This man said that if you showed up to fight him, he would honorably meet you outside. You guys could go outside and get it popping, one-on-one. And oh, by the way, as Wes Watson stood up, right, and took off his weight belt, one of Wes Watson's buddies circled around to the back of the 7-foot black guy that showed up. Yeah, and had a dumbbell in his hand. So they were going to box this guy in and not allow him to go anywhere. Now, look here. This is what happened. Wes Watson feinted, hitting him with the belt. Dude backed up. And Wes Watson, after the dude backed up and some more shit happened, Wes Watson actually swung on him with the belt. And then he starts to walk away, Wes Watson. And the guy decided to approach him from behind. Wes Watson turned around very quickly, took him to the ground, and his buddies started jumping in, and you know, there were soccer kicks involved from the guys. Guys were hitting him with dumbbells. There was eye gouging, lock pulling. The dude had locks. They were pulling on his locks, gouging his eyes. They landed on him about 54 times, okay? Landed on him 54 times, but could not knock him out. Just so you guys know. That lets you know a little bit of something about them. Could not knock the dude out, but, you know, they were wailing on him. You know what I'm saying? With belts, dumbbells, soccer kicks, you know, just punches, all kinds of strikes. And the dude was done, right? He was on the ground. He was on his knees. Clearly, he was done. Like, clearly, he was not going to fight back. And you're talking about Wes Watson and 3 of his buddies. They're all attacking him. Yeah, they're all attacking him at one time. So, yeah, that's what happened. Y'all can look it up. Wes Watson. So what happens? Well, guess what? After they're done wailing on him a bunch of times, Wes Watson circles around the bench and gets a walking start and gives him another soccer kick. Yeah. Then the police were called. The guy got carted away in an ambulance. Yeah, that's what happened. That is what happened with the Wes Watson situation. Now, many of you may not know who Wes Watson is. I suggest you guys go look him up. This is a clear case, right, of what happens when you are a social media influencer who is acting rah-rah and tough all the time, and you make challenges and you don't expect people to take you up on those challenges. Sometimes people are going to show up to accept that challenge. That's just reality. That's just a reality. You know, a lot of social media influencers, they talk shit, right? They talk shit. They're very overt. They're very what word do I want to use? Like, they're very like boorish, very, you know, and they act like people can't see them in real life. You know? And I try to steer away from doing shit like that. Now, if you do something to me, right? You attack me personally online, I'm gonna go in on you. And I'm gonna go in on you, and I'm going to expect, right? If we go as far as to, you know, go in on each other for personal shit, personal attacks, threats, calling people hoes and bitch ass niggas and any of that shit, I am going to do so in kind. I'm going to call you worse things than you called me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get real personal. Ain't gonna be no feelings behind it, but I understand how real life works. Just like you feel like you can talk all kind of shit and you do that shit to me, oh, I'm gonna go in on you. I'm going to call you worse things. I am going to cuss you out more, and I'm going to stay on your head. I'm going to stay on your head top. Every time I think about you, every time you come up, whether it be in other people's live streams, my live stream, your name get mentioned, I might call you a bitch. I might call you a hoe. Because I want you to fight me when you see me. That's what I want. Why? Well, because that's how I grew up. Right? That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And the 2000s. Especially, you know, it was a lot more dangerous in the 2000s because I'm a grown-ass man at that point. And you're talking about soldiers at clubs and being drunk and all kind of silly shit. That's when it gets more dangerous. But I had become a honed weapon by that point. So, you know, I got high punch resistance. I have a high tolerance for pain and all that type of shit. And I have great reflexes. And I don't like, even though I have high punch resistance and I have a high tolerance for pain, I don't like getting hit. I don't like getting hit. So I'm very good with head movement, and I have great reflexes. You know what I'm saying? And when I don't want to get hit, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to get hit. And I'm going to counter with something. And you're not going to like it. And with all the sparring that I've done in Muay Thai and all that shit, you know, I'm ready to use what I learned, sparring in Muay Thai and sparring in boxing, you know, and the fights that I've had in real life as an adult. Because if you get in a lot of people, they get in fights as kids. They get in, you're kids, right? You're not thinking about how much harm you can do to somebody or doing as much harm as possible to somebody. You're just wanting to land the most punches. You're wanting to drop the guy. Sometimes you might get stomped out depending on how many people are involved. Things like that happen, right? As a kid. As a matter of fact, when I got kicked out of the house when I was 16 years old, I was in a group home, and I had to go to North Hollywood High. Now, y'all think about Hollywood, y'all think glitz and glamour and movie stars. No. North Hollywood High, it was a rough school. It was a lot of Hispanos in that school. A lot of them, right? They were mostly Hispanic. And I went there with this other black dude named Buddy. He was from Centerview, Peru. We attended that together. We was real cool together with each other. Like, we were almost like best friends, even though we met each other in that group home. And one day we're walking through the campus, and a black dude is getting into it with we don't know this black dude. Black dude is getting into it with a Mexican dude. All of a sudden they start fighting. And then out of nowhere, a bunch of other Mexicans start jumping on that black dude. And me and Buddy, we looked at each other like, oh, hell no, we got to go help this dude, right? We don't know the guy. All we know is he's getting jumped by 5 or 6 Mexicans. And every time we looked up, there was one more Mexican. So we jumped in, started snatching motherfuckers, hitting motherfuckers on the back of the head, from the back, hitting them in the jaw, just doing what we can to help this black dude out. That's getting jumped. Like, me and Buddy are just going through these Mexicans because first of all, they didn't see us coming. And by the time they saw it, we had already laid out 3, 4, 5 of them. And so, unfortunately, the security came, right? Schools like that, you have security. We had to go through a metal detector just to get on campus. That's how bad it was. So yeah, we went through metal detectors getting on campus. Yeah. So, school resource officer came and got all of us. We got expelled from that school. We got expelled. Now, I had a honey dip that I liked up in there. She was this Hispanic chick. Real bad little chica. And, we were getting, we was getting it popping. I spent a lot of time school learning female anatomy with her. And, yeah. I wanted to go back. I went back to the campus after I got expelled. Okay? Went back to see my honey dip. And they called me walking through campus. It said, oh, you trespassing. So I got arrested. Yeah, I got arrested for trespassing. And that is when I went to the YA. I went to this little YA in San Bernardino. And I had to stay there. Now, here's the thing with that YA. You're not supposed to run away. And they told you this whole thing about if you hop over the fence, the cops are going to come get you right away and all this, that, and that. I hated that place. That place sucked. I did not want to be there. So I wanted to test that. I said, okay, I wanted to call they bluff. So I hopped that goddamn fence and I ran. I ran to the nearest bus stop. No one came and got me. I was done with that after that. Anyway, I digress. The point is, we're adults. You're adults. If you're a social media influencer and you are on the internet, you are an adult individual. And you're a human being. You're not an AI rendering, right? You're flesh and blood. you are going to be held accountable. You are going to be held to your words. Somebody is going to challenge you. That's how you got to think about it. And guess what? No one may ever challenge you in real life. But you always have to know someone is going to challenge you. Because you put your face out there, the more subscribers you have, the more followers you have, the more whatever, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, doesn't matter. You're a public figure. So you have to know someone is going to challenge you. Someone is going to confront you. Someone is going to try to work your ass over. Oh yeah. And they're going to have a camera. They're going to have a camera just to show the whole thing. Because they want clout. They want clout. You know, you went back and forth with them on the DMs. You think they're keyboard warriors. Y'all can keep thinking that. Go ahead. Keep thinking that the people talking shit to you on the internet are just keyboard warriors. Go ahead. Keep thinking that. Just think like, oh, yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, he's just a keyboard warrior. Look at that keyboard warrior. Look at that keyboard warrior. Think they are all keyboard warriors. Go ahead. Because one day, that keyboard warrior might show up to be a real life warrior, or to attempt to be a real life warrior. And they're going to try you. Like I said, and Wes Watson, he invited this bullshit. He invited it to himself. He decided that he was going to tell people, fuck y'all, come get this business. We're going to fight one-on-one. Come to this gym at this time. I'm going to be there and all that bullshit. Somebody showed up. And he's lucky. He really is. Even though he got arrested. He got arrested. Yeah, he got placed on arrest. Because he went way too far with his so-called self-defense. Once you call somebody out, if you tell people to come to you in the physical and try to fight you, you have no reasonable expectation. There is no reasonable expectation of self-defense. No. You called for mutual combat. Yeah. Mutual combat. So when you call people out on the internet and you say, come fight me, come to this gym, you know, at this time, and they show up and you're surprised and you're like, oh, well, what the fuck are you doing? A duh. And especially if you DM the motherfucker, y'all are exchanging DMs. Come on, man. Do you not have a lawyer? Like, if I ever get hundreds of thousands of subscribers and I'm making all this money on YouTube or whatever, I'm going to have lawyers. Oh yeah. I'm not just going to challenge anybody on the internet. I'm not going to challenge everybody. That's what he did. Anybody. I made specific challenges to the amazing Lucas. I made a specific challenge to anybody that got a problem with me shitting on Minor Mouse. And that was basically it. Now, the call out for Minor Mouse baby munchers, a little broader, but nonetheless, I expect them to show up. I expect it. I'm prepared for it. You can never be too prepared though, because you can be prepared as a motherfucker and you can still get washed. And you have to expect that. Because they're the ones who made the initial threat. That's the difference, you see. Yes, some people might have threatened Wes Watson, but he threatened and challenged everybody, anybody. So this is a good lesson to all you social media influencers. You are public figures. You're not a movie star. You're not a music artist. You're not a goddamn entertainer. Well, you are an entertainer to a degree. You are an entertainer. You are, depending on how many followers and subs and all that you got, you are a celebrity. You have opened yourself up to have shit talked about you. And I also challenged knockoff Pity Pat, 69 TV, but that was more of a sparring match, something, throw the gloves on, because I really ain't got no beef with K-Ho. I just don't like him, right? I don't want any harm to come to him. But because he called me a hoe, well, I have to, you show me I'm a hoe. That's my position. You think I'm a hoe? All right, show me how. Show me I'm a hoe. Because you call another man a hoe or a bitch in their face, I expect, okay. Because when I was a kid, hell, when I was in the military, I'm at a bar or something like that, or we're at a club, motherfuckers get drunk. And let me tell y'all, and now this is probably gonna sound racist, but the boldest motherfuckers who are drunk in the military, in the club, is a white motherfucker. Let me tell you that right now. 9 times out of 10, that liquid courage encourages a white person. But that's just from my experience. But I've had motherfuckers, I'm downrange, at a club, at a bar. And listen, let me tell y'all what I did when I was at the club. I was bumping bitches. Yeah, I was, hollering at chicks. Now that I got a little slow down in traffic, I can kind of read y'all comments a little bit. Sunshine says, that's why I don't mess with people, nor talk shit to anyone. People are nuts, and I don't want to have to call the nutcracker. Bada boom, bada bing. Hey, I like that. I'm gonna have to steal that, Sunshine. I'm gonna steal that from you. People are nuts, and I don't want to have to call a nutcracker. I like that. Sunshine also says, I don't know who none of those dudes are. You are naming off, LOL. Good for you, Sunshine. You don't need to know them. Good for you. The bottom line is this. When I was downrange, or I would be downrange, and this happened multiple times. I don't know why. Hell, even in the barracks. In the barracks, downrange, getting back in on post, through the gate, at the gate, outside the gate to get back in, motherfuckers be squabbling. I mean, we used to have rumbles, okay, especially in South Korea. We used to have rumbles. There was a very consistent rivalry between the artillery and the infantry company. So the artillery was just up the road, right? The artillery people, the FAs, field artillery, and the infantry, and we routinely got into rumbles. It just always happened. And then we'll rumble down range. We come back drunk as shit on the shuttle, waiting for the shuttle to get back on. We at the gate. We trying to get on the bus. We trying to fight over who gets on the bus first. We rumble again. 9 times out of 10, the infantry won, And anyway, routine, a few times I had somebody call me a bitch or a hoe as soon as the word left their mouth. Somehow a fist made it to their jaw, or made it to their nose, or made it to their temple, or an open hand smack came across their ear and they were laid out. I don't know how it happened. Someone would call me a bitch, smack, boop, whatever happened. It was a trigger. It didn't hurt my feelings. It's just, look, you're challenging me as a man. You're a man, you're challenging me as a man. Just straight up, just lay him out. Who called me a hoe? Oh, K-Ho. Well, they call him knockout boxing 86 TV, but I call him knockoff pity pat 69 TV. And he called me that so that I could go debate him. It was stupid. Like, you don't call somebody a hoe so that they can come debate you. That's retarded. But that's what he did. He didn't like what I had to say about some shit he said. I didn't say anything about him personally. I said something about him, about what he said and his stance on something that I disagreed with. That's all I did. But he called me a hoe. All right. Exactly. Dead Mike. That's how I was raised. That's how I got down. I mean, it's not just me. Ask any 80s baby. You call a man a hoe? Or you tell him to suck your dick and all that silly shit? Nah, bro. See, you're trying to assert dominance over me, so now I have to show you that that's not possible. So, naturally, when knockoff pity pat 69 TV called me a hoe, I'm like, okay. I did say, all right, well, show me I'm a hoe. Let's make it happen. Let's, arrange a friendly sparring match so you can show me that I'm a hoe. That's what I said. Then Mike said that he got called a mark-ass buster one time, and they got served up. Okay, dead Mike. But yeah, I mean, it can go like that. Mark-ass buster is one of those words. Mark-ass buster, mark-ass buster, bitch-ass, hoe. All those things can get you served up. All those things can get hands and feet put on you. I mean, in person, just immediately. Like, you see, there was an evolution of how quickly a fight would ensue. In elementary school and middle school, there was the shoulder press, right? His shoulder against your shoulder, and you going around in circles. You push, he pushes, and then eventually a punch gets thrown. And then in high school, it might be you skip the shoulder rotation, and you go immediately to the push. Those are the first 2 years of high school. Push and then punch. Last 2 years, junior and I didn't attend. I didn't go to high school in junior and senior year. I got my GED. But when I was in Job Corps and when I was in Job Corps trying to get my life back straight, that's how it worked. I mean, there was no longer a push, a shoulder press, or a shoulder rotation. It was an immediate punch. An immediate punch to the face. Immediate punch. Immediate. Because what you call fighting words were exchanged. So you say so, you utter fighting words to somebody. The first thing they're gonna do, if they bout that, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna immediately go to knuckle contact. Yeah, that was the evolution. And again, it wasn't because, oh, you hurt my feelings, now I want to cry. No, it was just, that's how, I hate to say it, it's like a rite of passage. It's how men are born. It's how men become men, right? Someone challenges you and challenges your position. You got to fight it out. That's just what it is. And of course, it doesn't work like that nowadays, right? But you'll be surprised. These young kids be fighting like that. Don't let them fool you. But I don't know what happened with the internet, with social media, with all that. People have forgotten how quickly hands and feet can be thrown. And when you put yourself out there as an influencer, you got to, and you're talking that shit, you calling people out their name, you challenging people, you go into other people's platforms, you disrespecting them, and you know, trying to challenge them because you want to have a debate and all that silly shit. That's not how this shit works, man. In real life, a motherfucker gonna want to touch you up. Sugar Free Mars, how you doing, Queen? Y'all go check out Sugar Free Mars. Sunshine says, no, as crazy as people, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, listen. Thousands of homes and most of the lost. Oh, you talking about the LA fires? Yeah, it's wild. I saw a picture of the Pacific Palisades. That shit is out of control. The whole goddamn, all of Malibu is destroyed. It's just utterly destroyed. But yeah, I mean, listen. Yeah, when keeping it real goes wrong, look, that's what happened with Wes Watson. And that's what could happen to anybody. Now, fortunately, well, not fortunately, but for Wes Watson, you know, he did not get hurt. He didn't get hurt because he had his buddies there. He had his weight belt. When the guy showed up to face it, to challenge him, like he called him out to do, you know, he got the best of him. It doesn't always work like that. When you are, again, when you're a public figure, I want y'all to understand this. It doesn't appear that people. I'm pretty sure you guys can't hear me. Hold on. All right, can you guys hear me now? So look, if you are a social media influencer, if you have a bunch of subscribers, if you are a public figure, and you make challenges, broad challenges to people, you give them the address of where you're going to be, and you talking all kind of shit to all kind of people, and people are talking shit to you, and people are DMing you, and all that type of shit, and you do not expect people to actually show up, and you know what I'm saying? You expect people to not show up. Oh, you don't really believe it. Oh, no one's going to do it. If you live like that, oh, well, guess what? Anybody can show up at any time. And so Wes Watson, here's the deal with Wes Watson, though. Wes Watson was acting like he was the victim. He was acting like it was all in self-defense. Oh, yeah, it was pure self-defense. You know, the guy, blah, 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 right? Nope. That's not how this shit works. You invited this shit to yourself. You invited it. Like, you told people to show up. You told people that, you know, we can go outside, we can fight one-on-one. Nobody, you ain't got to worry about nobody jumping in. And then the guy shows up, and all of a sudden you hitting them with weight belts. You don't go outside. You got your buddies jumping in. You fucking screwed, man. You fucking screwed. I don't know what people expected. And of course, you got the Wes Watson baby munchers. You got the Wes Watson baby gobblers. You got the motherfuckers with abortion clinics in their mouths, swallowing all his babies. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, excusing the behavior. Oh, that's what the guy gets. This, that, like, listen, man. People are retarded. If you think Wes Watson was justified in what he did, after all he did to bring that upon himself, there's something wrong with you. And so, I mean, look at it as a learning lesson. Those of you social media influencers out there, those of you who have YouTube channels, Instagram channels, all this type of shit, and you are putting yourselves out there, people are going to talk shit. People are going to make videos about you. They're going to do it. You know, it's the bottom line to it. Y'all do the same shit. When y'all do it to celebrities, when y'all do it to entertainers, when y'all do it to athletes, when you do it to music artists, you're expecting that content to draw more people to your channel. And guess what? If you have a platform that's big enough and a lot of people know about it, they might use you for the same reason. There is no reasonable expectation to be exempt from that. You know, Wes Watson is not a movie star. He's not a traditional celebrity. He's not an entertainer in sports and in music and in film. No, he's a ex-con who has a YouTube channel about his prison life, and he's some goddamn coach or some shit. He's not a traditional celebrity, but guess what? He is an influencer. He is a public figure. So it is what it is. You made your name, right, being a controversial figure. Controversy brings more controversy. Controversy brings hate because you're controversial. You're gonna have haters, you're gonna have baby munchers, and you're gonna have the people in the middle. The ones that are logical and are just looking at you as pure entertainment. They don't have any feelings towards you whatsoever. You know, and they're gonna watch you for the entertainment value, or they're not. You know, so that's what I don't get about a lot of these cats, man. I don't get it. I have zero expectations of, and I only got 2,000 subscribers, like I said. So, I mean, but I often hear about people will come to my channel. Oh, Mighty Mouse said this about you and that about you. You know, oh, KO said he heard what you said about him and this and that. He talking about you on his live stream. He said, come get this work and all this other type of silly shit. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't give a fuck what Mighty Mouse has to say. I don't give a fuck what KO has to say. I don't give a fuck what the Clown Shoe Lucas. I don't give a fuck about what none of them motherfuckers got to say. It is what it is. I said what I said. You don't like it. I don't give a fuck. Every chance I get, I'm gonna talk shit about you because you took it there first. You took it personal. You took it to the personal. So guess what? Every time you come up, I'm gonna talk about you. Why? Because I'm a grown ass man. And until I can put hands and feet on you, that's just what it's gonna be. And guess what? It may never happen. I may never be able to put hands and feet on you. And for KO, gloves, a pair of boxing gloves. We can get it in and some friendly sparring. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't hate you. But, you called me a hoe. So now we got to get that work. That's just how it works, man. That's just what it is. That's how it works. And so, again, like, here's the funny thing. What if I go to Texas? I'm out and about minding my own business. K-Ho sees me on the street. I don't see him. He runs up to me and takes a swing at me. Should I cry about it? Should I call the police and say, oh, self-defense? No. I talk shit about KO. If I were in LA, I talk shit about the Clown Shoe Lucas on the internet. Yeah, he threatened my kids first, but nonetheless, I said I'll beat his ass. I said I'll put hands on him. It's on site when I see him. I invited him to come see about me. I can go back to visit LA and dust the ashes off me when I get out the plane, right? Dust the ashes off me when I get in the car. Oh shit, all this damn ash. And I can go somewhere. I can go to a restaurant. The clown shoe Lucas can see me at the restaurant. Oh, that's that motherfucker that was talking shit about me on the internet. And he can come snuff me. What am I do? Oh, yeah. It was self-defense. He can snuff me, and I can beat his ass, I can do whatever. Or he can beat my ass. What he look like saying it was self-defense when he threatened me and my children? What it look like me saying it's self-defense if I beat his ass, and I told him I was gonna beat his ass? No. We both challenged each other. He challenged me. I accepted his challenge. And guess what? If I see him, it's on and cracking. I told him to come. Exactly, no rules. I told him to come to the goddamn Culver City Overlook. If he'd have showed up, what I look like? Oh, well, get away from me. Oh, get away from me. And then I try to stab him. What I look like? No, I told his ass to come up there. Well, that's what Wes Watson told him to go up there. And when he showed up, he said, stay the fuck away from me, and hit him with a weight belt. Some of y'all are fucking delusional. Just because the internet exists and you present yourself to people from the internet does not mean when they show up, or it does not mean they're confined to the internet. I don't know. Oh, you're just behind the keyboard. You're a keyboard. I never got that keyboard warrior shit. I never got it. Because you don't know who these people are. There might be straight stone cold killers in your chat, in your comment section. Just because you don't see their face, you think that they're all fucking just puny little piss ants? No. Some of them might be straight hitters. Some of them might be straight knuckle bangers. You don't know who they are. No, they're not stuck behind a keyboard. They're not stuck they're not stuck behind a screen. They can get out of their house. They can drive around in a car like I'm doing right now. I know y'all think I'm just behind a screen. No, I'm actually out in the world. I'm on my way to a destination. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all need to wake the fuck up, internet influencers. You think you can't be touched? Okay. You think you can't be touched, but you can get touched. You can get touched and penetrated. Understand that. There are more crazy people in the world today than there ever have been. Oh, you thought I was AI dead, Mike? No, I think you're AI. Because the bottom line is, yeah, they're talking shit on a keyboard at that moment. At that very moment, they're talking shit on the keyboard. And you don't know who they are. They might just have a letter in a colored background, right? You know how most subscribers, they don't have an avatar. They just have the letter of their name, the first letter of their name on there. But that does not mean they're not real people. That does not mean that. It just means that you don't know who the fuck they are. I hope we understand that. Because there are a lot of social media influencers that I rock with, that I hope they don't have that delusion. The same delusion that Wes Watson did. Sunshine says extra zesty with lollipops and cupcakes. Facts. They could be bots, Dead Mike, but they could not be bots. Don't count on that either. I don't, listen, y'all need to stay out of the goddamn, look. I know they're trying hard to convince you guys that we are in a simulation. Let me put it to y'all like this. Y'all know the Matrix, right? In the Matrix, you had a simulated world that the computers created for the human beings. They held in capsules filled with semiotic fluid that sustained their life. But even though they were in these pods and they were being drained of their energy to keep the machines going, the machines created a world, a simulated world that these people could exist in with all the sensory perceptions, all the neurosensory things going on. They could feel, they could taste, they could touch, all that. Well, it wasn't a real world, right? It was not a real world. And what happened? Lawrence Fishburne, or Messiah, or what's his name? Morpheus. Morpheus came and got and gave word. God, stupid motherfuckers. These motherfuckers just cut me off. Man, my reflexes are real. Really? Are you gonna do it too? Okay. Anyway, these motherfuckers be wanting to get hit. Anyway. No, they didn't brake check me. They cut me off. They just came flying in front of me. Anyway, I know sometimes people think I'm not paying attention to the road, but I'm definitely paying attention. I'm an excellent driver. Anyway, so in the Matrix, Morpheus came to Neo while he was in the Matrix, right? And he offered him the red pill or the blue pill. Explained to Neo that he was in the Matrix. The Matrix was a simulation that the machines created to keep the humans that they were growing in these pods happy, because if they just had them in the pods, they would not get any energy from them. They needed, because there is electricity runs through the human body, right? Through neurons. They needed the neurons to fire in order to power themselves. They needed that for energy because they had a nuclear war and, you know, they weren't getting enough sunlight, blah, blah, blah. So Morpheus came and Neo took the red pill, right? Neo came out of the Matrix. He came out. And while they were training, because they would have to go back in the Matrix and free as many minds as possible. That was the goal. And Morpheus thought Neo was the one. And so, boom, they started training, right? They started doing simulations of the Matrix. And they were doing all these acrobats. They were doing the kung fu and all that. And then there was a moment when they were jumping across rooftops. Now, because of their awareness, right? Because their pineal glands were decalcified, so to speak, they had superhuman abilities in the Matrix. So they were able to jump higher, run faster, have better sensory perception, better reflexes, all that. So they appeared to be human, superhuman in the Matrix because they were able to hack the program. So during their training, Neo was supposed to jump across the rooftop. Now he is in a computer simulation. Well, he didn't make it across. He fell all the way to the ground. Many, many stories. And then when he landed, y'all noticed the ground kind of pushed in and he hopped out, and he was alive, but his nose was bleeding. So when he came out, his nose was bleeding in real life. Morpheus explained to him that, and Neil was like, well, why the fuck is this happening? Why, you know, why am I bleeding? Why did we were in a computer program? Morpheus explained to them that even though you're in the Matrix, if you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. That is key to understand. That is a key message. That is a key message in the Matrix. That y'all think that the internet, that the people that utilize the internet on these social media sites, you think that they're simulations or something. Like they're not really gonna try to touch you in real life. Understand that even if we do exist in a simulation right now, even off the internet, like me driving right now, there are a lot of people that think that we're living in a simulation. Well, you can still die. You can still get touched. The internet ain't real, but the people that use the internet, the people that you interact with on a daily basis on your social media sites, oh, they exist in real life. They exist in real life. They can live in the same city you live in. But they know what you look like. You don't know what they look like. So just be aware of that when you're out in the world. And you think that, oh yeah, these motherfuckers just keyboard warriors, they ain't gonna do shit. Oh, that's probably a bot. Oh, that's just a troll. Man, let me tell y'all. In Fae mythology, trolls are very dangerous. They may be a troll, but that don't mean they're not gonna try you if they see you in real life. That is the ultimate takeaway in this Wes Watson thing for me. And I'm glad it happened. And hopefully, many of us out here have that understanding, have that awareness, like, yeah, I'm talking shit on the internet to other people that are talking shit on the internet, but they can see me. They know what I look like. I'm not hiding behind a fake ass picture that does not depict who I am. This is who I am. Y'all know what I look like. Y'all know I drive from Georgia to South Carolina every weekend. Y'all know where I be at. Y'all know I'm in Blythewood, South Carolina. Y'all know I work in Atlanta. Well, north of Atlanta. I mean, that what kind of delusion would I have if I just, oh, well, no one, I'm not worried about anybody. And I'm not really worried about nobody right now because, like I said, I'm not that big. I'm not a big channel at all whatsoever. But even if I did become a big channel, I would be more aware. I'd be more aware. Like, look, man, I'm not saying don't talk shit to people who are talking shit to you on the internet. Just understand that if you start doing silly shit like handing out your address, and when I did it, it was silly. So I can be accountable. When I did that, when I told, and I have a family, I had at the time of the Amazing Lucas bullshit, I had 5 kids and a wife. I was the breadwinner of my family. I was the sole breadwinner. They rely on me for safety, security, and provisioning. But I told these clowns to come meet. I told them exactly where I was going. That was fucking silly. Even if I was justified I felt justified in challenging them because they were threatening me and my kids. I told them exactly where I was at. I said, come to the Culver City Overlook. I'm going to be here at this time, that time. I told them to come. But the difference is I expected them to show up. I expected them to show up. I was never like, yo, yeah, they're not going to show up. I always knew that they were going to show up. I knew they were going to show up, even though they didn't. And it's funny too, because I would do my rucking, and I had, at the time I had a selfie stick. It was just easier than just holding the phone up, you know. And that at that time I was going up hills and stairs, and you know, it was just easier and reserved a lot more energy just to hold the selfie stick like right here, and I could just do that. Trust me, I was people would make fun of me. Oh, somebody's coming up behind you. They'll say a little silly shit like that. They're like, oh, they're behind you. Oh, someone's coming. But I was always aware of what was going on behind me. But it was silly. It was not smart for me to do that. It was not smart. It's not smart at all. So yes, I can be accountable for myself. I can say that I put my life at risk because some clowns, you know, did some silly shit. You know, I was just, you know, I was returning the energy. I was keeping that same energy with them. But nonetheless, I put myself at risk, and it is what it is. Like I never gave anybody my address to my house or nothing like that. But imagine they could have saw me at the goddamn the hill, the stairs, and say, you know what? No, we're not gonna come at him here. We're gonna follow him to his house. We're gonna follow him to his house, wait until the wee hours of the morning, and then we're gonna attack him at that time. That could have happened. And I was also aware of that. I knew. I was like, hey. But, you know, I had certain precautions in place in case that happened, because Minor Mouse's little minions said, oh, I know where you live, and, you know, I know where your wife is, and all that type of shit. Yeah, they made those level of threats. And that was before I started challenging them to come meet me at the stairs. I had done that. I was doing that for the clown shoot Lucas until Minor Mouse's minions started talking that shit. Then I'd tell them to come up there. I said, no. Come see me at the stairs. So at that time, I had already challenged Lucas to come up there. Which Sugar Free Mars, which dude you talking about? Which one? Yeah, Sunshine, I do have my family. Exactly. Yeah. That's the Marine in me. Oh, I wasn't a Marine. I was a Army. I wasn't a Marine. Don't you say that even threaten? Oh yeah, no. Well, technically, Minor Mouse's minions didn't threaten my babies. They just said things like, "We know where your wife is," little shit like that. They didn't make blatant threats. The Amazing Lucas did that. He made the threat. Oh, the one that threat. Yeah, the Amazing Lucas. Talk about zesty. I knew he was zesty. You know, it's funny. I knew he was zesty when he said, well, I already knew he was zesty. He was always like suspect, right? He was always suspect with his mannerisms and all that shit, and the way he acted. But exactly, Sugar Free Mars, rainbow like a motherfucker. But I knew he was zesty when when he was doing a live stream, and some guy, he was talking to some guy in the chat. They might have had some correspondence going on offline. He said, oh man, you know, me and you, we should go to the club together. We'll slay. This motherfucker said, we'll slay. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is even that? This motherfucker said, we'll slay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man, we should go to the club together.
Please.
Oh, we should go to the club together. We'll slay. Yes, sugar-free Mars. You forgot the lie. I promise you, sugar-free Mars. He said slay. I'm like, what the fuck is even that? I have never told a man, hey yo, homie, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to this club, man. We're gonna slay some bitches. We're gonna slay. He said motherfucking slay. I said, all right, bro. All right, bro. You mad zesty, homie. Yeah. That might say he wanted action. He probably did, man. Yeah. The motherfucker said, we'll slay. I'm like, dog, don't ever talk shit about another man in your fucking life. And you know what's funny? This dude, Sugar-Free Mars, have you checked this channel out? Sunshine knows who the Amazing Lucas is. Go check. If you haven't seen this channel, just go. Watch something. Watch one of his things. He tries to do this thing called, now, I haven't watched any of his lives in maybe a couple years. I just can't stomach it. But just go. Just listen. Just do an experiment. I know you don't want to do it, but just go look. He does this thing. I think he does it on Tuesdays, right? He calls it. Now, he thinks he's some type of like dating coach, right? He thinks he's a dating coach. He thinks he has the way with the ladies. He thinks that he wants to give the impression that he can pull a bunch of chicks and, sweep. He thinks that he's like one of them dating coaches that know everything about how to make a girl like you, right? Sugar-Free, y'all both said I don't want to and laughed. Hilarious. Hilarious. Y'all, Sugar-Free and Sunshine, y'all need to knock it off. Look at y'all. Y'all girlfriends now. Just so y'all know. Sunshine and Sugar-Free Mars, y'all girlfriends. Like friends. I'm not trying to pass the zest on to y'all. But y'all both, that's hilarious. But anyway, he likes to think of himself as a dating coach. Like he knows how to pull chicks, right? And he has this thing. He does a live on, I think it's Tuesday, yeah. He calls it Peep Game Tuesday. Peep Game Tuesday. I'm like, what? Because before I got into it with him, he started doing that. I'm like, what is a Peep Game Tuesday? What do you think? Come on now, dog. What are you talking about? This man thinks he knows everything about women and how to pull women, and he tries to convince you that he just has access to all these broads. But you know when a dude really has access to broads. And ladies, women. Let me be. You know when a man probably does not really know how to pull or how to attract a woman to past a certain degree, right? Like if you're good looking, all right, yeah, you have that initial attraction, but if your mouthpiece ain't talking about nothing, or if your mannerisms or the way you behave or act around a woman does not show you, does not impress them, you have to also go there as well. If not, they're gonna try to treat you like a simp. They're gonna try to simp you, get you to simp. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, the looks might get you in the door, but I don't even like to say mouthpiece because I've never had what one would call a mouthpiece. I was just always just real. Like I don't play that game shit or try to. I don't try to look at books and how should I approach it? No, I just if I like a chick, I just hey, what's up? Let's get hey, I like you. I think you dope. You know what I'm saying? Let's chop it up. Let's see where this can go. I don't play those games. I don't try to, all this bullshit. What all these dating coaches do. I've never done that. Even in my young days, even when I was in my 20s. Now you had to do that type of shit as a teenager in school. You had to try to spit game because you had to spit mad game just to get a phone number back then. Just to get a house number. Sunshine says, I don't know that not one fine man who is truly fine that just goes around bragging about what they get. No, I mean, they don't. But yeah, he has a thing called Peep Game Tuesdays. And I'm like, bro, come on. But so, yeah, I had to try to spit game in school. When I was in school trying to get a chick. And then you would have to talk to them for hours and hours on the phone before you even got a kiss. And then if you wanted to get, if you wanted to use your fingers, then you had to put in work when I was a kid. But nonetheless, I've never been the one, like once I became an adult, it was like, all right, enough of the bullshit, right? I like you. Let's make something happen, or you're a beautiful woman. Let's go out. I don't try to like, yeah, the sun, the moon, and the stars align for us to drink wine and dine, and all. I don't do all that. All that slick talk shit. I'm not about that. I just, it is what it is. So like with him. This is how I knew he wasn't really about that life. This man, let me tell you, this man was doing a live and he was talking about how I did a stupid Peep Game Tuesday. And this was when like the beef had started, it's not real beef. Well, it is beef because we lived in the same city and there was really a possibility that we can reach out and touch each other. But after that, he did this live stream and he was talking about how he was dealing with a chick, right? He was dealing with a chick and he was talking to a couple of the ladies in the chat and he was trying to get advice about whether or not he should give this girl a hug. What should I do? I mean, he was asking for advice. Bro, you have a show called Peep Game Tuesday. And you call yourself trying to help brothers trying to help brothers get women. And you're in the chat. You're asking a woman in the chat how you should try to get a hug from a woman. Should I just ask her? Or should I ask her for a hug? Or should I say give me a hug? Or should I... What? What is you talking about? Sunshine says, just random hug. No, like, if they meet up or I see, we're going on a date. Like if they're dating and she picks him up or whatever, picks her up, should he hug her? Like, dog, you supposed to know what to do. You're telling men, you're trying to give men advice about how to do this. Sugar Free Mars says he probably feels more comfortable giving a man a hug. Probably, that's probably facts. Jay with Open Eyes for it says all these women, all these people on the net talking about how to get a woman, a bunch of clowns there is no playbook. No, there is no playbook. Exactly. All women aren't the same. And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that. I was going to say, dog, like, you're asking a woman in the chat how you should deal with a woman that you know in real life, about how to get how to hug somebody. You know, you have to know their energy, right? But if you're willing to go on a date with me, if you're willing to hang out with me, I'm just gonna give you a hug. Hey, what's up, girl? And I'm gonna give you a hug. I mean, it's just all like, because I'm trying to build something with you. If I'm trying to build something with you and we're spending time and energy on each other, I'm just gonna hug you. I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna, can I give you a hug? I'm not gonna say, girl, give me a hug. No, I'm gonna open my arms, and guess what? I've never had a problem. If I'm entertaining a young lady, and a young lady is entertaining me, exactly, sugar-free Mars, they are sweet. Guess what? I'm gonna open my arms, and you're gonna fly into them like a hawk. God damn it! You gonna want to know what this chest feels like against your cheek when I squeeze and them things get to squeezing your cheek. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna give you a bear hug, but I'm gonna give you a hug, and I'm going to squeeze the chest, and you're gonna feel the hardness, and you're gonna feel the crevices, and you're gonna be like, okay. But I'm gonna give you a nice gentle hug, and you're going to feel the feels. No crotch-to-crotch contact. That comes later. There does not have to be, in my mind, any thought put into it. Right? It does not. It's just not. I mean, it's just an automatic for me. That's me. Because we're already in that space where there is a level of attraction. And we are exchanging energy. And so guess what? Another form of exchanging energy is a nice hug. The crevice, yes, sugar-free Mars, the crevice. The crack. The chesticles, you're gonna feel those. But, I mean, it's that's what I do. You know, that's how I do it. I'm clowning, no, I'm for real. Who sound like Steve Urkel? Mofo Fresh says, it's your date, fam. You just give. Exactly. Why am I asking? Why am I asking a woman? Well, do I ask? Bruh, that's how I know you ain't shit, bro. Women don't like you. They might be attracted to you because the amazing Lucas is fit. And women might think he's attractive, but beyond that, I can tell, ain't nobody fucking with, no chicks are fucking with you like that at all. When you're spending 10, 12 hours doing live streams, and you ain't got no woman at the house. That means that no woman is entertaining you. But look, here's the thing though. Here's another reason I knew that he ain't about that life either. He was complaining about a chick he was dealing with that was still hung up on her ex. He was complaining about how a woman he was dealing with was still talking to her ex, texting her ex on the phone, still dealing with her ex. DB said, I'm breaked up. All right, man. The dude was still, I mean, you worried about, you trying to tell us how to, you trying to tell men who you say are lame and don't have no game, you're trying to teach them the game, and you're complaining to them about a woman who is thinking about her ex and dealing with her ex and talking to her ex and all that other shit. Bro, you have no, you ain't got shit to say to me about nothing at all. DB said, "What did I do?" Nothing, bro, or lady. I don't know. I don't know who you are. Jay says supposedly he does have a girl with him at his crib. He calls her wife. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch him no more like that. Sunshine says maybe he don't want a biological woman. And you know, that's another thing. Y'all know that little CG 9000 robot that they trying to put out? Oh, he can't wait for that. He is pro robot woman. Yeah. He talked about how, oh, when that CJ 9000 come out, you bitches ain't gonna be shit. Jay with open eyes, don't ban him. Don't ban him. No, we don't need to do that. Sugar Free Mars says, nervous energy comes off creepy. It is creepy. You gotta have a vibe of confidence and understand. Exactly. Like, listen. It's for me, like I said, if I'm entertaining you as someone I would like to get to know and build with, I'm gonna give you a hug. Period. I ain't gotta ask. You're gonna melt into me, and then, you know, it doesn't have to be a long ass drawn out hug, and we just keep it moving, like, and then we go on and enjoy our day. DB, yeah. Damn y'all. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we don't need to. We don't need the black DB. So yeah, man, I have never, all this shit about dating coaches, and let me tell y'all a secret. Let me tell you dating coaches out there and you red pillars a secret. Men have been getting with women and having babies with them since the birth of man, since the dawn of man. It's not like all of a sudden men don't know how to be. Men are a lot more selective because they feel like they have more power. And they don't really have a lot of power like that. It's just what they do. They do because a lot of men. Okay, so apparently 30% of men have never had sex, right? And I guess that's a big number. That's a lot of men. But I don't think that's anything new. I think it's been like that for a very long time. I think it's been like that for centuries. I can see that. Women are very selective. They are very hypergamous in nature, and that's just how they are. That's by nature. It's not malicious, right? But it's just that nowadays, that hypergamous nature is being amplified, right? By material shit. Whereas before, that hypergamous nature was about meeting the most prioritized hierarchy of needs, right? Shelter, food, security, right? And they knew, well, in order for me to survive, I have to choose the best suited male, the strongest male possible for me, that I can have children with, because I want the survivability to be much higher. I want higher survivability. So I'm going to choose the man that's going to provide the highest level of security, the highest level of provisioning, the highest level of all that shit, shelter, right? And so that's how it was. Now, because of the modern society, because of industrialization, those needs are not immediate right now, right? They're just not. And so it has become about More so about looks. Women are now more so choosing men initially about in regards to looks, and then it goes to, well, how much money he got, what he do for a living, right? All that type of shit. I mean, that's just what it is. So now that we have the internet and more men are able to flash what they got, you know, we got DMs, we got all that shit. You ain't got to go out and meet people like that no more. You can just DM a motherfucker and fly somebody out. It's the fly out culture. You know what I'm saying? But the difference now is women are not looking for longevity necessarily. Not many of them, right? They're looking for the next fly out. Who can take me on a trip? Yeah, it's a very lazy era, Sugar-Free Mars. Who can take me on the next trip? Who can take me to Dubai? Who you gonna send me $30? I told y'all, right, about my wife and how she's very like you know, she's open with me exploring, right? And of course I'm not entertaining that from her because you know, it's a double standard. But here, nonetheless, she is allowing, and I don't right now I have no desire because these chicks out nowadays they out of control. But I have experimented. I have like, all right, let me see what's out there. Just let me do a social experiment. And I've been doing that for the last year and a half, right? And yeah, it's not a lot going on out there. There are a lot of examples of what I was just talking about. That's how I know. It's the fly out culture. It's the, you know, this one chick, man. This one chick. All right. We start talking. And we send a few text messages back and forth. And on like the 5th text message, she's like, can you send me $30? I want to get some lunch. Yeah. Can you send me $30 for lunch? I said, excuse me? Yeah, can you send me? I said, you done lost your goddamn mind. Yeah. Oh, Sugar-Free Mars. It's a wasteland out there. Yeah. She said, oh, send me $30 for lunch. I said, excuse me? And she's like, yeah, send me $30 for lunch. I said, nah. I said, I don't know you like that. I said, first of all, I don't know you. Secondly, I'm not about to give you a goddamn dime. Yeah. And then, excuse me. Then there was another one. There were a few of them actually. I never really had a problem matching people, right? Matching or meeting people outside, and so you know I've had different experiences. And like this one chick I met near Atlanta, you know, I was out doing some shopping for my Georgia crib, and yeah, we exchanged numbers. I was like, okay, let's see what she's talking about. Dog, immediately she sends me naked pictures of herself. In the first, and she's trying to come get piped down. Yeah, she's trying to come to the house and get piped down. I'm like, no, thank you. I mean, yeah, real shit. Sugar-Free Mars says these hoes are bugging. Exactly. And what's worse is that they think it's cute. They do think it's cute. She's like, oh yeah, send me naked pictures. FaceTime me. right? FaceTime me, I answer. She's naked on the FaceTime. I'm like, I said, what the hell's wrong with you, man? No, I'm not doing that, right? And she was stacked. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, she was stacked. Like, built like a brick shit house. You know, cute, all that shit. But I was just like, you probably smell like a fishery. I'm good. You know, like, why is that necessary? And then she's trying to come to the house and get dick down that night. Send me your dick. She wanted me to send her eggplant pictures. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? You out of your goddamn mind. But this is not an isolated incident. This has happened multiple times. Yeah, Jay. Jay says dating apps, in my opinion, are scams. They are scams. But this chick, I met her in person. And even those on the apps met in person, there's always something. Always. You know, it's just, and it's one chick. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I met this one chick. She was hella cool. Hella cool. I met her in Kentucky. When I was in Kentucky. And she worked at a pawn shop, and she did something else. But she mainly worked at a pawn shop. But I met her when I was out eating out in Kentucky. And she was hella cool. Hella cool. Like, beautiful woman. Just real beautiful. Beautiful, nice body. You know what I'm saying? Just a sister, of course, black woman. And we chopping it up. I have to drive 6 hours from Kentucky back to South Carolina. And, you know, we are talking. We talk for like 3-4 hours on just FaceTiming. All about all kind of shit. She was into a lot of shit I was into. She was a conspiracy theorist. I was a conspiracy, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. Right? You know, we were able, you know, we just had a great time chopping it up. Just talking. And no, she never sent me nude pictures. She never tried to get the dick right away. She didn't try to do any of that. The problem with her was that now she knew I was married. She knew I had kids. She knew my situation. And after a few days, it was like there was already the discussions of me leaving my wife and, you know, all this other shit, like, oh, I want more time and I'm gonna want to, you know, she wanted a lot of my time and energy. Yeah. I said, okay, we can hang out when I'm in Kentucky. You know, I'll come when I come to work. I was working out there 5 days a week. We can hang out. We can chop it up, you know. We can talk, build, whatever. How much time do you need, right? Like, she just wanted too much of my time that I was like, no, I still, when I go home, right? When I go home, that is for me, my wife, and my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one else is getting that type of energy. Like, and even when I'm in Kentucky, I don't need to see you every day. I don't need to see you every day. We don't need to talk every day. Big Maniac says, nah, play your, exactly. I'm like, listen, I just, it's not going down like that. I am not going to disrupt my entire life for you right now. You have to get on my program. If you want to deal with me, you got to get on my program. Just like there are certain things about you that I'm going to have to deal with that are going to be on your program, right? Like she had her own 2 kids. Like, look, you need to use your energy on your kids, when I'm not around, and I'll use my energy on my kids. It is what it is. But I'm not going to just, like, first of all, I barely know you. We've been knowing each other for a few days. She was getting upset, getting attitudes, and, one time I called her, okay? I called her, and she said, what? What was it? What was it? I said, excuse me? You answer the phone and say what? With an attitude. I'm like, I said, you bugging. And that's when it was over, y'all. It was over after that. Cause I said, okay, call me when you level-headed, right? She didn't like that. But look, you answer the phone and say what? I got a problem with that, right? Because that was not called for. But nonetheless, so we talked later. I said, look, man, if I call you, you're not going to say what to me. She started to get a little bit of masculine energy, right? Like this masculine, like trying to assert dominance. And I said, I don't roll like that. If I deal with a lady or a woman, I want femininity. I don't need submission from you right now. I don't need that. Like, we're trying to get to know each other. You don't know if I'm worthy of your submission, but I do command femininity. You don't need to be barking and trying to be aggressive and all that. No, I'm not rolling like that. I'm not rolling. So the conversation became about what I would not tolerate. I'm not tolerating it. Like, I'm not, I don't know you from Adam. We have been getting to know each other, but I like you. But this energy you got, because here's the bottom line, what she told me. She was having a hard time getting with the right kind of guy, and she was frustrated about that, and she was dealing with a married man that never told her he was married, and she found out later, and she didn't fell in love, and I fell in love with him, and he was married and had kids and had a whole nother life. I'm not trying to go through that again. I said, look, I'm married with kids. I told you immediately. You know it. And exactly, sugar-free Mars, a red flag like a motherfucker. I said, look, I don't know what type of nigga you was dealing with. I mean, you told me the motherfucker was married. You didn't know he was married. He lied to you. He lied to his wife. I'm telling you right now that I'm married and I have kids. And my wife knows I'm putting myself out there. What? You knew that. But see, they don't want to deal with that. And I understand that. I understand it. But if I tell you and you're okay with it in the beginning, but you start to catch feelings, and I ain't even slide her the P. I never slide her the P. Never slid it. I never slid the P to her. Can you imagine if I slid her the P? And I could have slid her the P and made her gush. And that would have been a big problem. Sometimes you can spot the gushers. I could tell she was. Anyway, so I did not slide her the P. If I had, that would have been a bigger problem. But that's why I'm not just slanging and banging whoever I want. I'm not doing that. That's not my purpose. I'm not trying to slang my thing to anybody. Nope. That's not how this is gonna work. But You know, and she wasn't trying to push me to have sex with her. So that was one thing that set her apart from a lot of these women. It was that she was not on no hypersexual energy. But I could tell there was some trauma there that might have been of a sexual nature. So, you know, we flirted, you know, we had some flirtations and little things like that, but, you know, she was not very sexually, she was not hypersexual like a lot of the women I had dealt with. None of whom got the pee. Like, no, I have not given the pee out to anybody but my wife in almost 16 years. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, yeah, she had that energy like somebody had did her dirty, the married dude. I said, I'm not him. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of frustration behind me focusing my energy on my wife and kids the majority of the time. And she had a problem with that. So eventually I had to stop dealing with her. So it is what it is. Sugar-free Sunshine says, reminds me of some Fatal Attraction episode. That's funny. She also says, if she's passing that cookie out like that, then something is seriously wrong with that cookie. Yeah. Well, the one I'm talking about now, she was not. Or at least she wasn't passing, like, she was not hypersexual with me. I don't know how she dealt with other men. And you know what's funny? What's funny is, she told me she was dating other dudes, that she was talking to other people. And I'm like, you talking to other dudes, so why you were about, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're seeing other men. I don't have a problem with that. Excuse me. So where's this energy coming from? I didn't understand it. So that was an issue there. There was just a lot of that. A lot of, oh, and then there was another chick. Oh my God. Another Atlanta chick. Yeah, those things. This was an Atlanta chick. And I met her. She wanted, all right, so she was on some, she wanted all of my energy as well. Like, I don't know what that's about. Like, you know that I'm married with kids, but you want me. All right, so she wanted to go hang out. She wanted to go on a date. She wanted to hang out. And I explained to her that I'm in Georgia 4 days of the week, during the week. And so we were talking, and she said, we should hang out next weekend, right? She said we should hang out next weekend. I said, okay, no problem. And then I thought about it. I said, God damn, I can't do that. I can't, because the weekends are for my family, my wife and kids. And I said, nah, I can't do that. What I told her was, I said, look, I can't do it on a Friday or a Saturday, but we can hang out Monday through Wednesday, because on Thursdays I head back to South Carolina. So I basically only have Sunday, Monday, so I head back to Georgia on Sunday. So I got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We can hang out. I told her that. Now, this was immediately after she asked me to hang out on a weekend, and I said, okay. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. I will not be in Georgia on the weekend. But we can hang out on a weekday, or from Sunday through Wednesday. And she was, I could have sworn she said okay. So the next weekend comes, And I am back in South Carolina. She says, what's up? I thought we was going to hang out. I said, what are you talking about? Yeah, we were supposed to hang out today. I was like, no, I didn't. No, I did not say that. I told you that I cannot hang out on the weekends. I can hang out Monday, I can Sunday through Wednesday. I told you I'll see you on Sunday through Wednesday. I said, we can hang out Sunday. Oh, she was pissed. She said I stood her up. Oh, I can't deal with you niggas. Oh, y'all always doing this. What? A hot mess, sugar-free Mars. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? I told you that I could not. Yes, at first I said, okay, we can hang out next weekend. And then I said, no, you know what? I can't. I cannot hang out with you on the weekend. I can. Y'all get it. So I was like, man, all right, enough of that. So it has not been a very encouraging experiment. Okay. So this other young lady, right, who told me that she is open to married couples, right? That she said. You know, that I can do that. That's what she said. And then, like, a week later, right, she tells me, oh yeah, you married. I can't deal with you. I said, what are you talking about? Yeah, you married. I said, you said you didn't have a problem with that. Oh yeah, but you know, all this, that, and the I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. These, and then like I said, you got the ones that are asking for eggplants and eggplant pics, and then there are those that are trying to get you to buy the pea. Like, come on, get out of here with that shit. And those are the ones that you see on the dating app. So you get on the dating app, a lot of them are going to be trying to scam you, or they're trying to get some quick dick, or they're trying to get you to buy some pussy. I'm not doing any of that. So I shut down that dating app shit. I'm done with that. Like, no more of that, because it's a waste of time. It is a crazy place, sugar-free Mars. I'm done with that. I'm not dealing with none of that. None of that. No dating app. I'm over it, because it's just a whole different world. Like, I have not been out there in over 16 years. Like, going on 16 years, I have not been out there like that. And I'm like, it's just some new shit. Now, I'm like, well, if a unicorn falls into my lap, I'll accept it. But she got to be a unicorn. If you ain't a unicorn, I'm good where I'm at. I don't need that, you know. But it is what it is, right? Like, it's like, okay, well, we have already, like, me and my wife have explored, like, we have had discussions about this for years, like a second wife and you know, all that type of shit. And then she's okay with that. But, you know, as far as just willy-nilly doing shit, like out there just trying to get my rocks off, it's like, that's not the mode. That's not the mode we're in. Like, we're in a mode of, you know, trying to build, you know. And then at the end of the day, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't need it. I don't need it. Like I said, unless a unicorn falls into my lap, it would have to be a fucking unicorn. That might, just knock it off. Let's keep it a buck. You would smash a big girl? No, I would not. No, I'm not into big girls. I'm just not. I like slim thicks. I like slim women and slim thick women. I don't like no big chicks. Sorry. I mean, if y'all go on my community tab, you'll see the type of woman I like. I like to see the collarbone. If I can see your collarbone, you're a winner. I mean, that you're not a winner. That's a good. That'll get you some good points. I don't like big women. I like taller, not necessarily taller. My wife is like 5'7", you know, and she's slim thick, right? You know, that's what I like. I don't like big girls. I'm sorry. No, Lizzo cannot get it. She can get it from you, but she can't get it from me. Nope. I had one experience, y'all, and y'all probably think I'm full of shit. I'm not. I had one experience with a rotund or zoftic young lady. One experience with a zoftic chick, and I did not like it. I did not like it. It was just it didn't. I don't know. It didn't feel right. I like big booties. Don't get me wrong. I can deal with a big booty. I like that. But it was just like the folds, you know. No. I have messed with thick chicks, but not like. I've messed with bigger chicks, right? I'm not gonna sit there and act like, oh, I've never been with a little chub, but not no big old rotund woman. Yeah, and it was just, I don't have a problem with more, bigger chicks, but not no Lizzo size. You bugging? No. And this chick the one experience I had, she was not as big as Lizzo. She weighed 200 pounds. She weighed 200, but she was like 5'8", 5'9". Now, here's the thing. Lizzo is indeed a weird looking female, sunshine. Here's the thing. This chick was 5'8" when I met her, before I went to the Army. And I met her, I was working at a department store called Robinson's May in Santa Monica. I was the men's collections person. I worked in men's collections, and she worked in the shoe department. Now, she was 5'8", but she only weighed 150 pounds when I started messing with her. She was like built like a brick shit house, but she only weighed 150 pounds, 145, 150 pounds when I went to the Army. Now, we weren't together, but when I got back, I looked her up when I was on my way back, when I got out of basic training. Well, not when I got out of basic training. So I got out of basic training. I didn't talk to her. I was at home for leave, and then I went to Korea. I was in Korea for a year, and then we started chopping it up again. When I got back, we linked up, but she did not tell me this whole time that she gained like 50, 60 pounds. But we're just talking. And then when I get back, I'm at my mama's house, right? Because I'm on leave. I'm back on leave, and I'm at my mama's house. I call her, right, on the phone, on the house phone. They used to have these things called house phones. You pick it up, and you go like that, and you dial numbers on a separate apparatus from the thing that you hold up. It's called a charger. And I called her. I said, yeah. What's going on? This was my first night back from South Korea, yo. I was ready to go get in them draws. Cause I was dealing with, well, I was wild in South Korea, yo. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was in South Korea, I was wild. Koreans, Russian chicks, Filipino chicks, I was all up in that. I was all up at the, yeah. That's a whole nother story, y'all. Yeah. I was out of control in South Korea. I gotta admit that. I was out of control. But, and I had black chicks too. I had, you know, in South Korea, you know. But most of the bad ones were in South Korea. South Korea, like Seoul, Korea. When I was stationed in South Korea, I was not in Seoul. I was in Camp Hovey. And that's like near the DMZ. So I was near the DMZ. That's like a good hour and a half, 2 hours from Seoul. But anyway. So I get to the house. That same night, I got there in the morning. That same night, I called her. I said, yo, what's up? I'm back in LA. She said, okay. You want to come over? I was like, yeah, for sure. She said, but I got to tell you something. She said, I got to tell you something. I said, oh, what's up? She said, yeah, I weigh 200 pounds. I said, what? She said, I weigh 200 pounds. I said, get the fuck out of here. Now, mind you, at this time, I did not have a cell phone back in America. I had a cell phone in Korea, but it was a Korean cell phone with Korean service. It was no use to me in California. So, yeah, I could not say that. And this, I don't even think, were they doing camera phones? I don't even think they were doing camera phones. No, we didn't have camera phones yet. But I don't think we did. Well, it was 2001, 2002. I don't think we had camera phones yet. But I said, stop lying. I thought she was fucking around. She said, no, for real. I weigh 200 pounds. I said, how'd that happen? She said, oh, I was going through depression and this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't really give a shit. I just wanted to get, I was like, okay. I didn't really care. I was an asshole, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all. All right, let me finish the story. But so I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't really care what she was talking about her depression. I didn't really care. I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't believe her though. So I said, okay, well, I'm coming over. And you know, the last time we got it in, before, when she weighed 140, 150 pounds, I mean, she had that, I don't want to get too goddamn graphic, but that thing was like gushy. Yeah, she had a gushy one. So I was looking forward to that experience. I was like, okay, woohoo, I get to go, yeah. And yeah, it was really good. She had a nice big booty and a little tiny waist, little slim shoulders. She was slim thick. I am weak for slim thick women. And you ain't got to have a big old ass going all the way out here. It just has to have a nice little bubble that I can, grab onto. And she had that. And yeah, anyway, it was a great experience, to say the least. But nevertheless, I said, okay, whatever. I said, you full of shit. She said, for real? I was like, okay, we'll see. I get out there. Now, I lived off of Slauson. No, this was Crenshaw. I lived off of Crenshaw, right? Let's say Crenshaw and Slauson. I lived near there. She lived on Crenshaw in like 35th, whatever street, 30 something. She lived over there in the 30s, in the 30s. I'm like, all right, so I hopped on the bus. I didn't have a car. I hopped my happy ass on that bus, took my ass down that street, and she lived right on the Crenshaw. I said, for sure. But before I left, she didn't live in Crenshaw. She lived in Inglewood. So she had moved. Anyway, so I went over there. Sunshine said he got the draws. Sunshine says, like on Martin, when Tommy was on the witness stand. Did you get the you funny. So I get down there, man. I get off the bus. I walks up. So they had a little wrought iron fence. It looked like kind of like these were like little Mexican style houses, right? They were duplex. Anyway, so I got up in there, opened the little wrought iron gate, mobbed up in there like, yeah, it's about to get cracking. Knocked on the door. She opened the door, and I saw a very rotund, Zoftic woman standing before me. I said, my jaw dropped, yo, like for real. I was like, okay. Now, I had gone all the way down there, and I said, well, I'm committed now. I committed, and we got it popping, and she was on top. Yeah, she got on top of me. And it was like, there was a lot going on, y'all. Like, it was a lot going on. I don't want to go too far into it, but there was a lot going on there, and it was still gushy, but there was an added, like, I don't know how to say it. So there was the gush. You know, if you have any experience with the cream, you know what the cream looks and feels like. The cream was there, but it was accompanied by like a slick substance that came from like the folds, and it was kind of like off-putting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was a whole lot going on, y'all. Like I said, the gush was still there. She was very orgasmic, but like I said, it was accompanied by another substance that that I did not understand it, because I swear to God, y'all, I had never been with a woman that big, that had that many like folds and in areas where things can. I'm not trying to be like a body shamer, but this is just how personal experience and personal preference, right? I was 22 years old. I was a young man. I was an asshole too. I was an asshole. Y'all don't know. I was an ass to women. An asshole. Like, if we, like, I was almost like immediately an asshole as soon as we started talking. Like, I'd meet a chick, we'd exchange numbers, and yeah, okay, cool. We started chopping it up, and I was just an asshole, right? It was just in my nature. This is how it was. But it was weird how they were still wanting me, like, still wanting to deal with me. I was like, I'm a straight up asshole. But anyway, I did not know how to deal with all the extra layers, all the extra mass. It was like, how do I grab? Like, I can't grab a waist. Like, I like to pick up, I like to hold, I like to swing, I like to lift in the air, I like to do all kind of shit. I like to spin, like, I like to all that. I couldn't do that. I had no control over the ovulations. I don't know what the right word is. You can't do that with, you know, you can't do that with that. I like to be able to manhandle a chick in the bed. You know what I'm saying? I like to lift legs in the air and just go. That's what I like to do. It's fun. I like to listen. Anyway, I could not do that. Like, she was on top of me, and she was getting it. She was working her thing. She was new, you know. But it's like I was like 2 years ago. I was able to flip you. I was able to hold you upside down. I was able to pick you up. I was able to do all kind of things, and I could not do that. So maybe that was another reason, like, why I could not fuck with it after that. No, sunshine, I have to be able to grab a waist. I have to be able to grab the whole, like, hips are perfect, right? When a woman has nice hips and, you know, she's, you know, bent over, right? And you can see how when they bend over, is like you see that little cute little, that little sexy ass little fold of the hip, and you just want to grab it and just use it as handlebars. Yeah, I like a good set of handlebars. But it's like, if I tried that with her, my hands would disappear. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be an ass, but this is what I'm thinking about. I said 2 years ago, you had grippable handlebars on your hips. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know, hair pull, like all that, like choke you from the back, like that, just grab you. Anyway, nonetheless, it was uncomfortable, y'all. It was uncomfortable, and I spent the night, and I spent the night, yo, and I turned away from her, right? I turned away from her, and she spooned me. I was the little spoon. Y'all, I felt so dominated. So with that on top of the extra substance that accompanied the creamy gush, I was just like, man, I can't handle this. So I did spend the night, and I got up in the morning, hopped my happy ass on that bus, and I never talked to her again. I have not seen her ever again since then. Why y'all laughing at me? Jay with open eyes says, I'm not finna get crushed by a... Yeah, I mean, real talk. And like I said, I laid on my side. I kind of turned away from her, right? Because I was kind of like put off. I'm not trying to be shallow, y'all, but I was shallow as fuck back then. And I was like, man. And then she like put her arm around me and scooted up, and I felt all the things against my back. And I was like, oh man, okay. But she was sweet. She was a sweet girl. She was very nice, very nice, very nice. And so that was it after that. She probably knock it off. So like, I was an asshole, y'all. I did not call. I never talked to her again. And thankfully, there was no cell phone. I did not have a cell phone. So if she was calling the house, I didn't know. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Jay says, that's not even shallow. You like what you... Yeah, I do like what I like. And I was an asshole, y'all. Like, so I was messing with chicks, man. And there's this one story. And I met this chick at the mall. Me and a homie, I was like 21. No, this was when I got out the Army. So I was like 24, 25, something like that. And I was hanging out. I met this young lady. She was like 5'2", 5'3". Chocolate, just beautiful chocolate thing. Just little, tiny little waist, nice booty. You know, she was built. She was nice. She had a nice body. And, you know, she was, we met, we talked. And we actually went out on a double date with it was me and her and my homie and a chick he was dating. And, you know, we did our thing, whatever. Now, I hadn't had sex with her, but we went to the movies one time, right? We went to the movies. And I was such an asshole. We went to the movies. And I bought her the ticket, right? I bought her ticket. I bought some popcorn. And I bought a drink. Okay? I bought popcorn. I bought the goddamn movie ticket. And I bought the drink. And so we're at the concession stand getting the popcorn and the drink. And for whatever reason, the guy behind the counter said, "You want some candy?" Looked at her and asked her if she wants some candy. I said, "Nah, she don't need no candy." Oh, I said, "Nah." I said, "Nah, she don't need no candy. Nah, she don't need that." And she looked at me like I was boo-boo the fool. I said, "What?" I said, "You got some soda? You got some popcorn? You good?" I said, "Unless you want to go ahead and get yourself some candy." I was an asshole. And she was hot. She was hot. She was mad. I was like, "What?" So we went and enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I mean, for real. I said, "I bought you some popcorn. I bought you some goddamn drink. And I paid for the movie. What you want? What you want from me?" And so she got real mad, y'all. Like, and I took her home. I let her go on about her way, and I left. I could tell she was pissed, but I didn't give a fuck. I was an asshole. I really didn't care, y'all. I just really didn't. Like, you can deal with me or you can't. And it is what it is. No, I was looking out for her. Don't eat that goddamn candy. Exactly. Yeah, that's it, Jay, man. That's it, Jay. Yeah, that's it. I didn't want her to get poisoned by the sugar industry. Yeah, that's it. So I was being nice. Anyway, I said, "Man, you don't need no goddamn candy." I said, "Nah." I told you, I said, nah, she don't need no candy. So she did not talk to me for days. So she calls me to complain about me not buying her candy. I said, "What? Why? You know, you're an asshole. Why didn't you buy me no candy?" I said, "Are you serious right now? Are you calling me to complain about me not buying you candy?" She said, "Yeah, you're a man. You're supposed to be a gentleman and buy me candy, and you're supposed to pay." And I said, "Look, I paid for the popcorn, I paid for the drink, and I paid for the movie. I did. I mean, I hit the trifecta. I hit the trifecta of movie dates. Movie ticket, popcorn, drink. The trifecta. Red flag, exactly." And so she went in on me. I said, "Look, man, I ain't got time for this bullshit. Go holler at a different nigga that you can get that shit from." I said, "You fine as fuck. And you got a nice body. I'm pretty sure you can go get some candy from any old nigga out the street. Go ahead, get you some candy, girl. Candy, girl." You know what I'm saying? I said, "Go on ahead, get your candy." And yeah, we got off the phone. Y'all, I did not hear from her for a few weeks after that. I had other young ladies that I was entertaining. I didn't care. And every single one of them knew that I was dealing with other women. Like, I always kept it real. Like, look, we're talking, but I'm also talking to other women. I was never the player type. Like, I was never good at like hiding. I gotta remember her name and whose number is it? Like, I was never good at that. Like, why waste time? Why not just tell them up front? Like, look, yes, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to another lady. I'm talking to multiple women. You're not it. You're not the one. So it's your choice. You can deal with me or you can't. I mean, it is what it is. I always kept it like that. But anyway, so I did not hear from her for weeks. One night, I'm at the homie's house, and I'm playing, what am I playing? I'm playing a video game. whatever video game. We were playing games at the homie's house. And, you know, she called me. She said, she sounded drunk. She said, hey, what are you doing? I said, what the fuck? What you want? I said, what you want, girl? She said, come over to my house. I said, what? She said, come over to my house. I said, why? She said, nigga, just come to the house. I said, don't talk to me like that. Whatever. She said, come to the house. I said, what's wrong with you? Are you drunk? She said, don't worry about that, nigga. Just come to the house. I said, man, quit playing with me. She's like, yeah, for real, come to the house. I was like, all right. So I borrowed the homie's car. No, I had my car. I had my Buick. I had my Buick Century. That I used to dip in my Buick, y'all. I used to dip. Anyway, so I dipped on out. She stayed like near Hacienda Heights. She stayed north of Hacienda. I drove out there. And I said, let me see what she's talking about. Got her address, went out there. Well, I've been at her address. What am I talking about? So I went out there, and I got there, and I called her. She let me in, and she was a little drunk, and I was kind of nervous about it. I was like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if this is a good idea. But it's not like today where chicks let you have sex with them, and then they mad at you, so they try to say that you did things. So that was, back then, that was not really a concern for a lot of guys. Like, it just was not. There was no social media. There was none of that. I was like, but still, I was like, I really don't, if I'm not drunk, I don't want to deal with you when you're drunk. I don't know about that. She's like, no. And then, so I was like, you know what? Let me have some drinks. So I had a couple drinks. We were feeling nice. You know, one thing led to another. She got on her knees. And, yeah, she, anyway, so push came to shove. Thrust came to groan. And then next thing you know, it's the next morning, right? I was kind of tipsy, so I wasn't about to drive. So the next morning, she was mad, y'all. She was mad. She said, what? She said, fuck you. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, why your dick gotta be so good? I said, what are you talking about? She was mad because I made her feel a night of absolute bliss. Because I made her experience gasms she had never experienced in her life. She was mad at me because I was an asshole and she wanted me to suck. She wanted me to be bad in bed. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so that happened. So then from that point, it was like, cause she was calling me every goddamn day. I'm like, look, man, look here, dog. I was like, look, man, I ain't got the energy for this. I didn't have the energy. But yeah, I went back. I went back a few times. I was never like a sweetheart or anything like that. I was always like an asshole. It would make the homies and my brother, like, they would hear the shit that I would say to these chicks on the phone was the wildest shit. It was when I think back on it, and it wasn't like I was trying to front. It was just how I dealt with them. Like, I had never learned how to be like a sweet man, right? But I had experiences. Oh, Sister Cameron, how you doing? How you doing? Blessings to you. Y'all go check Cameron's channel out, Queen Cameron. Cameron Fields. She's right there at the bottom. She's got an excellent channel that deals with mental health. She's a mental health professional, so she knows what she's talking about. And she's a beautiful young lady who is always giving off great, beautiful energy. But I would never, what I just said about Cameron, I in my 20s, I would never say that about, anyway, I never learned how to be like that. Now, when I was 18, I was kind of gullible. I was gullible when I was 18. I moved to Arizona, and really the chick that hardened my heart was this 24-year-old I was dealing with when I was 18. She ran me through the ringer, y'all. She ran me through the ringer to the point where I had to escape Arizona by joining the military. Like real shit. She was into some crazy shit. That's a whole nother story. But she was into some wild shit. But yeah, she taught me the game. Like she taught me, she showed me how women operate to a degree. And trust me, what I learned from her was that women don't necessarily like men that are like super sweet and super nice and super like ooh boo 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 and you know all that shit, all that extracurricular shit that you know. Anyway, but I was an asshole. I was an ass. This young lady I just told y'all about, I took her to the movies. I bought the movie tickets. I bought the drink and the popcorn. And she's a grown woman, and a man is asking her if she wants candy, and I told him no, she can't have no candy. This is a grown woman, y'all, and this is what, out loud, out of my mouth, I said that. And the homies, and like I said, my brother would trip about how I would talk to these women on the phone when I'm around. Like, I was saying wild, crazy shit. Yet they continue to deal with me. It was their choice. Like I would say, shut the fuck up. I was an asshole, y'all. I was an ass. I was an ass. Like real talk. Real talk. I was just, it's just how I was built. And you know, my brother did not understand it. My homies did not understand it. They're like, who? They let you talk to them like that? I'm like, let them talk to me. What are you talking about? I didn't understand what I was doing, y'all. I did not understand it. And, you know, and my brother's a hypocrite because he was an asshole too. He didn't have the success I had with dealing with women, but he was an asshole. Nonetheless, I mean, it was just wild shit. Like, I met this young lady, and this is when I started dealing with the conscious community in Los Angeles. The you know, the Hotep two-steppers. This is when I started dealing with them. I met this young lady, and the homie came up to me and was like, man, you should come check out this spoken word spot. I'm like, why would I do that? You know, and that's when I started getting into that, to the conscious community. That's when I started dealing with those people. But I met this young lady, and the first date we went on was to a spoken word, you know, spot. And yeah, I took her, and me and the homies went. My homie took his now wife. My best friend took his now wife. My brother went. We all went, and it was a dope ass. It was dope. Like they were spitting that spoken word like it was beautiful. I fell in love with that shit, and that's when I started dealing with the conscious community. Anyway, the young lady I took was probably one of the better quality women I was dealing with. She was older than me. I was like 24, 25. She was 29. So she was a quality woman, right? She was very feminine, very girly, you know, built like she was bad. Like she had a very beautiful, like her waist was like she was bad, but she was of a higher quality. Like she was not like the girls my age I was dealing with. She was almost 30 years old. She had her own salon. She had a hair salon, nail salon that she was running, and she was a hairstylist or whatever. So she was on point, and I was not on her level, y'all. Economically, I was not economically on her level, but she dug the shit out of me, and that's when I started to realize maybe I should not be such an asshole, right? Maybe I should calm down how I treat these women, because she was very like a she was like it was like she was one of those chicks that you would think went to a debutante ball, that, you know, she was like that type of woman, right? And I was an asshole to her. I was an asshole. But I was not nearly the asshole I was to women I was dealing with, you know, other than her, because of course I was still dating other women and dealing with other women. She got the best treatment from me at that point in time, at that age. Wait, was I 24? I was like maybe 26. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but she was older than me. And yeah, I was an asshole to her. But I was not that much of an asshole. But what's funny is my brother was dirty macking, man. My brother dirty macked on me, y'all. We went, I mean, she was a writer, man. Like, she would pay for dates. You know, I would pay for dates, and then she would pay for dates. She wanted to go to like fancy ass restaurants. She had the bread though. I did not have the bread like that. I did not for like every single date going to these fancy ass joints. She wanted to go to these fancy spots, and I told her straight up. Because like I said, I always kept the real. I was like, look, I can take you to a fancy spot maybe once or twice every now and then, but I can't do that all the time. So she would pay. She would pay for our dates. She would pay. She didn't have no problem spending money. You know what I'm saying? So, because she had her own shit. Like, she had her own place. She had her own business and all that type of shit. And this is how she rolled. And my brother decided to dirty mac on me one time. So we went to go to the to H&R Block. It was tax season, right? We went to H&R Block because her homegirl did taxes. So she took me up there so we can get our taxes done, and my brother get his taxes done. So he rode with us up there, and I'm doing my taxes with her homegirl, right? And so apparently when I was doing my taxes, he asked her, he said, man, my brother's an asshole, man. Like, is he an asshole? Isn't he an asshole? She said, yeah, he's an asshole. And he was like, well, why do you deal with him? Why do you deal with him? And she told him, and he was like, oh, okay. Listen, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, my biggest concern, right, was making sure, yeah, I'm an asshole, but I'm gonna make you feel good. No doubt. I might be an asshole, but when it comes to that bedroom action, I am going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you get yours before I get mine, because that's just how I carried it. So I took care of her in that regard, and I actually started to be less of an asshole. I started but I was insecure, y'all. I was insecure because she had more than me. She had her own business. She had more money. She had a nice car, all this shit. And I didn't feel adequate, right? She wanted me to be her boyfriend. She wanted me to be like exclusive with her. And aside from me not feeling like I was equipped. I just did not want to stop dealing with other women. And eventually, she was done dealing with that. Like, she was like, nah, I need more. She was ready to, yeah, sunshine. Yep. She was not dealing with that. She was like, nah, nigga. Nope. She said, I ain't dealing with that shit no more. I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to start having children. I'm almost 30 years old, blah, blah, blah. And she said, I want you to be that man. I was like, I said, I'm not in the space right now. I'm not in the space where I feel like I can take care of a woman and take care of children. Like, I'm not in that space, right? I'm still figuring my shit out. She said she didn't care about that. And that was a problem for me. I'm like, I don't want you to take care of me like that. I want to get my shit together. But she was not willing to wait for me to get my shit together. Sunshine says, poor baby, LOL. She was asking for some pain. Yeah. All right, Sunshine. Sunshine says, good for her. You wasn't acting right at all at that time. No, I wasn't. And I knew that. I said, you're not ready. I'm not ready for you. Nope, I'm not ready for you. You deserve a man that is ready for all that. I'm not ready for all that. I was not ready. Cameron says, bro, I salute you for maturing. So they never do. So many never do. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. They don't. And that's when I realized I had to change up a little bit. But I was still reckless out in them streets, right? Quite a bit. I was like, man, after she was done with me, it was like the karmic universe said, all right, it's time for you to feel the wrath of the karma. And it wasn't just karma for her. It was just all the reckless dicking down I was doing. All that reckless dicking down I was doing caused me to catch an STD. Yep. Now, that was not the first time I caught an STD. That was like the third time. The first time was just crabs, right? I caught crabs when I was in the Army. And before I went into the Army, so the first time I caught crabs. No. The first time it was in Arizona, I caught chlamydia. Right? That was the first time. I caught chlamydia, but did not know I had chlamydia until I got in the Army. I was in basic training with chlamydia the whole time. The whole 3 months in basic training, I had chlamydia, and I did not know until I went to sick call and they took care of that. Right? The second time I was in the Army, when I got to my regular line unit after Korea. So when I left Korea and I went to Kansas, I was reckless with the dick then. Just mad reckless, just out of control. And I caught crabs. That was the second time. The third time was after old girl I was telling you guys about. And of course, like I said, I was reckless with the D. Thankfully, I did not give her what I got, which was gonorrhea. So the third time was gonorrhea. And I said, okay, 22 Ronin, what's good, brother? So the third time was gonorrhea. And after that, I said, all right, I'm done. I think I was like 26, 27. No, I was probably 26. 26. Yeah. I said, okay, I'm done. I'm done. And I was celibate for 3 years after that. Celibate for 3 years. I did not have not a sex with any woman for 3 whole years after that. Yep. I was 29 or 28, something like that, when I had sex again. Yeah. And then after that, I got it in. So it was maybe 3 chicks. So from age 29 to now, I had sex with 3 chicks. So I had to sit my ass back. I'm like, hold on, killer. Hold on, killer. Yep, I was celibate. Yep. Cameron says I have all brothers, no sisters. I tell them that life will be your lesson. Yes. When they be acting reckless. Yeah. Life was my lesson, absolutely. I was mad reckless, y'all. It was crazy. I said, nah, man, I need to stop that. So that's what I did. I stopped having sex with women. And yeah, my whole outlook changed on. I got more focused on what I wanted to do in my life and getting my shit together. And I even tried to reconnect, and I did reconnect with old girl, and yeah. But that was like, I reconnected with her, right? And yeah, my whole outlook changed. Now I did not immediately. So after there was a whole crazy about 1.5 years of my life after old girl, where I was dealing with a chick, the chick that I was supposed to be a personal trainer for. That was a whole nother crazy goddamn story. That is a whole nother crazy ass story. That was wild. That was a wild ass story too. That shit's crazy. What happened with her? Yeah, that was a whole different ball game right there. Sunshine says community Pangan. You crazy. You went from celibate to celibate. Yeah, I sold yeah. I did celibate. That's funny. Yeah, I did that. I own it. You know what I mean? I own it. And now I can tell my sons, nah, brother, keep your thing to yourself. Focus your energy on building you. Build yourself. Right? Build yourself as soon as possible. And focus your energy on improving your own life and making sure your own life is good. And then the right women will come to you. The right women will come to you. Because that you're putting off that energy like, yeah, you're not for everybody. You are for that right person. So yeah. And that's what I decided to do after I went celibate. I didn't go immediately celibate after I dealt with old girl. But after some time, I started dealing with another chick. And I guess that was actually when I just wanted to kind of like try to be serious, but really not at the same time. But there was something about this other girl, the one I was supposed to be a personal trainer for, that kind of drove me crazy. Because she was crazy. She was crazy. And so I dealt with her for a while. And then after that whole shit blew up, I started slanging it again. And that's when I caught the gonorrhea. And yeah, it went from there. But that was a whole chapter in my life that I learned a lot. Because after the young lady, the older young woman that had her shit together, that wanted me to be with her, my dealings with women got worse after that. It got worse, right? So the next chick I met after her that was a whole nother chapter of my life where a lot of wild shit happened, right? A lot of wild shit. And then after that, I was doing other shit and got reckless. And another chick I was dealing with was the one that gave me the gonorrhea. So, and that's a whole nother story too, because I was working for this tow truck company. This is a shorter story than the story about the chick I was supposed to train. That's a much longer story. This story about the chick they gave me the gonorrhea is a much shorter story. I was a tow truck driver, right? I was a tow truck driver, and we had contracts with multiple city police departments to do impounds and shit, right? To do impounds, to tow cars, whatever. And she was she wasn't a cop. She was the meter maid type. She was the chick that would drive around and hand out tickets, right? Or call for tows. She wasn't a cop though, but she was a Guatemalan chick, right? A bad little Guatemalan chick. And I did quite a few tows for her. And I was working on her, right? She was not giving me no play. She was not giving me any play. And I finally got her number. It took me a few tows, right? A few meetups. She finally gave me her number. And it took mad long after that just for her to go out with me, right? But I was talking to her all the time on the phone. And we would talk, right? When I did the tows or whatever. But then there was another guy that worked for the same tow truck company, right? This dude named, I forgot his name, but we all went by cosigns. I was call signs. I was Zulu. So I was the Zulu call sign. Anyway, and this other guy was Alpha, right? His call sign was Alpha. But anyway, so there was Alpha and then there was me, right? A Hispanic dude. So I'm just saying that right now so y'all know later on what had happened. And anyway, so it took me a while to get this Guatemalan chick to give me any play. And finally I was able to get her to come to the house, and I smashed, right? I smashed her. And then I started, like, and a little bit after that, I started feeling these sensations and, you know, all that shit. Now, she wasn't the only one I was dealing with, right? But it happened after her. I had really scaled back on the dicking down of the random chicks. Like, I would really scale back. So I wasn't dealing with as much as I was dealing with before. It was just maybe a couple at a time, couple or three at a time. And yeah, I was using condoms with the other two. For her, I didn't use a condom. So that's how I knew, right? So I got the sensation. I said, what the fuck? So I went to the VA hospital and I had them test me and I had gonorrhea. So I called her, right? She was the first one I called. I said, yo, I got gonorrhea. You know what she said? She said, oh, I'm sorry. She said she was sorry immediately. I said, oh, word? Oh, word? You sorry? So you're not gonna deny it, you just gonna say you sorry immediately. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, whatever, you might want to go handle that. So her ass gave me gonorrhea. Talking about some sorry. I'm like, all right, man. And so I'm at the tow yard, and Alpha's talking about her to some other dude, right? And he was talking about how the chick in what was it? I think it was Hermosa Beach PD. How she had some good ass pussy. He was like, yeah, she got some good ass pussy, blah blah blah. Talking to some other dude. I said, oh, And I said, you talking about blah, blah, blah. And I said her name. He's like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah. Oh, she got some good ass pussy? He was like, yeah, man. Oh, my gosh, she got some good ass pussy. I was like, okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. And that was like a couple weeks after I stopped dealing with her. I said, so, when you start fucking her? Oh, man, last week, man. I finally hit it last week. So she did the same shit to him. Had him put in all this work just to get in the draws, right? But yeah, he smashed her. I said, oh, last week? He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't say nothing, right? I was like, all right, whatever. But she called me. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, and this and that. Can I see you again? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. Gonorrhea ain't permanent. And I'm like, bitch. I said, let me ask you something. I said, did you fuck the other tow truck driver, Alpha? And she didn't say nothing. I was like, yeah, no. She's like, yeah. Eventually, like, well, yeah. I say, all right, well, then you can keep smashing him. I'm done. I said, I ain't, going to handle that. And that was it. That was it, y'all. That was when I was like, okay. The universe is telling me to stop. To just take a pause. Take a couple steps back, reassess. And yeah, that's when I decided to be celibate. I was like, yeah, that's just too much messaging for me to pass up. So yeah, she smashed the homie. Now he wasn't really the homie. We was cordial. Like he wasn't my type of dude to hang out with. I hung out with a couple other the tow truck drivers. This dude let me tell you, this was an idiot. This motherfucker had a Mustang, right? He had a Mustang. And, we're at the tow yard. He's parked in the parking lot. This dude got off his shift. I think he did the night graveyard shift. He did the graveyard shift. And he gets into his Mustang and peels out of the parking lot. Like a dumbass, spins out and hits a fire hydrant. So his Mustang is sitting on top of the fire hydrant. Water just blasted up his goddamn Mustang. Fucked his Mustang up. I said, you fucking idiot. But this was like way before old girl. Like this, I was like, he's a dumbass. I knew then that he was too stupid for me to hang out with. He was a dumbass. Like, no, I can't, because he's an idiot. Like, I can't. He's not, no, I'm cool. So that's when I knew that he was a dumbass. Sunshine says, well, you definitely got the draws, dog. You stupid. Those flaming draws. Yeah, absolutely. No, that actually, Ronan, that was not the 90s. That was the early 2000s, early 2000s when this happened. Yeah, he's an idiot. He was an idiot. Anyway, y'all. It's been great chopping it up, man. I've been on here for 2 hours. Wait, over 2 hours. God damn, how long I've been on here? 174 minutes. Wow. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off of this, y'all. I gotta pull over and get some gas and hit the head, y'all. So, but I appreciate you guys for coming through and listening to me reminisce about my reckless days, my reckless asshole days. Cameron says she didn't receive a notification. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. You feel like you got to know me? That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah. Every now and then I'll divulge a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys for coming through and listening to me rant about the good old days where I was being reckless and an asshole with the D. And yeah. Oh, and also back to the earlier message. Be careful if you are a social media influencer, a goddamn public figure. You're a public figure. So when you call people out on the internet, give them your address to show up to fight you. Trust and believe somebody will do that. That's what you have to have in your mind. So don't be surprised when the motherfuckers show up and try to claim self-defense. Anyway, y'all be safe out there. We got some crazy weather on this side of the world, so you know, just be careful with the weather. Keep your head on a swivel, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll stay alive, y'all. Much love. Like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom.